everyone, it's Haley again. I did my revision on the first text offered, and that is hardening of the attitudes, Americans' views on the death penalty. So here is my revision. Since 1966, American support for the death penalty has steadily increased due to several supporting views and advantages. In recent years, pro-death penalty voters have begun outnumbering supporters of capital punishment abolishment. Now, in the mid-1990s, death penalty support is at a record high. Research over the last 20 years has tended to support the hypothesis that most individuals' opinions of the death penalty ignore information and rational arguments. Instead, individuals rely on their emotions to formulate their views on the death penalty, rather than researching further the advantages and disadvantages relating to it. People feel strongly about the death penalty, whether they are for it or against it, and oftentimes have little to no information regarding the subject. There is an intense feeling of emotion rather than a desire to know factual information. Generally, factual information in research, such as deterrence or discrimination, remains irrelevant to people's attitudes, and they are oftentimes aware of their ignorance. In addition, a reason for a rise in death penalty support is a result of an increase in major felonies being committed. For example, murder has caused an immense increase in support for the death penalty. A majority of Americans believe that a murderer should be put to death for a heinous crime that was committed under their influence. There has also been a debate regarding age limits and disability. Even now, youth is seen as less of a mitigating factor than it was 35 years ago. However, there are still young individuals committing major felonies. Additionally, most people continue to oppose the execution of intellectually disabled individuals. Furthermore, the death penalty has become an increasingly prominent issue in electoral politics. Politicians provoke several emotions into their campaigns and speeches that influence the voter. When politicians argue angrily for the death penalty, they potentially communicate a sense of control and at the same time arouse a sense of outrage and power within the voter. However, crime rates have risen despite repeated promises by politicians to get tough on crime. In several cases, these politicians fail to uphold their promises and bring disappointment among the citizens that voted for them. Politics often plays a role in the views of capital punishment. Although we agree that public opinion should be an issue of central importance for capital punishment research, we also suggest that future research should focus more explicitly on certain aspects that may increase factual information. These include racial attitudes, comparisons of the death penalty with specific alternatives, and the emotional aspects of attitudes towards the death penalty. The death penalty requires additional research that may harden the views and attitudes associated with its appeal.